Hello and welcome you once again in this new session of history. And today's topic is about the Akbar. Akbar the Great, a great Mughal ruler. Akbar, his full name was Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar. His full name was Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar. He became the ruler of India at the age of 14 in 1556 and he ruled for over 49 years from 1556 to 1605. When he was only 14 years old, when he became the king, he was being guided by a great man. His name was Bairam Khan. He was his regent. We have known about this Akbar's rules and regulations, his achievement in the biography written by Abul Fazl. Abul Fazl in his book Akbarnama has wrote about the Akbar's policies against the Britishers, his administrative qualities, everything has been written over there. Now, how was the accession of the throne of the expansion of this empire? His regent Bairam Khan, a great warrior, he was a trusty general from his father's time, Humayun. He helped Akbar because Akbar was very young, just 14 years of age. So he made Bairam Khan as his administrator, and he fought a war in he fought the war in Panipat. It was the second war of Panipat in 1556, in which second war of Panipat was fought between the Adil Shah Suris. Hemu was the army chief of Adil Shah Suri, but in this war Hemu was captured and he died in the second battle of Panipat. And after that Akbar became the Mughal emperor for whole the country of India. After that he captured Gwalior. Then he captured Delhi, then captured Gwalior, Agra. These victories once again established the Mughal emperor. Soon after the accession, he began to move towards Malwa, Gujarat, and Agra. He captured that. After capturing these, he captured Malwa, Gujarat, Bengal, Kabul, Kashmir, and Khandesh. From there, he went to Malwa and Gondwana. But Malwa and Gondwana, they were not accepting Akbar's rule. They fought against the Akbar. Akbar fought a war against them, but at the Battle of Malwa and Gondwana, where Baz Bahadur, who was the ruler of Afghan, he was also the ruler of Malwa. He fought against Akbar, but when he saw the large force of Akbar, he ran away from the battlefield, and Malwa was captured under Akbar. But Gondwana, where Queen Durgavati was there, she was the regent of his minor son. She fought valiantly. She was defeated. She committed suicide, but after her death, her kingdom was also been captured by Akbar. From there, Akbar was very great politician. He knew that Rajputs are very strong. So what he has made? He made a friendship relationship with Rajput. What he has done? He has offered them matrimonial alliances. Once your daughter is married to Akbar or his royal family, so that means they are now not going to fight against the Akbar. Then he gave a huge post to the Rajput kings, like they gave the province like Gujarat, Lahore, Kabul, Agra, and they put under, all these were put under the control of Rajputs. Raja Bhagwan Das was the joint governor of Lahore, and his son was Raja Man Singh was given the charge of Kabul. Rajput nobles like Birbal, Todarmal, they were also got the high rank position in the court of Akbar. Akbar also launched the policy of suzerainty. Suzerainty means if you accept Akbar's rule as a king, so your kingdom will be with you. Only you have to pay some taxes to Akbar after the year conclusion. And he even didn't interfere any of the cultural or religious interference. He never used to interfere any religious or cultural policies of Rajputanas. But one king that his name was Raja Uday Singh. He was the ruler of Mewar. He didn't accept that his daughter should be married to Akbar. Uday Singh refused that proposal. Akbar got angry. He sent his force to Chittor, and Chittor was the kingdom of Mewar. Chittor fort was being sieged for 4 long months, and after that Chittor was being annexed by Akbar in his kingdom. So Uday Singh fled from that Chittor. His son Rana Pratap Singh, and he fought against Mughal Empire. He died, but his son Maharana Pratap Singh, he resisted till he died. He fought against the Akbar, and one of his great fight was Battle of Haldighati in 1576, where Rana Pratap Singh clashed with the Mughal army, and Mughal army was led by Man Singh of Amber, Raja Man Singh of Amber, who fought for Mughal Empire. Rana Pratap Singh was defeated, and however, Rana Pratap fought with Akbar till he died. After defeated to Rana Pratap Singh, Mughal moved toward the Bengal, Gujarat, north, west, and all of these area was being captured by Akbar himself. He was the main lead of this expedition. He won the Gujarat in 1578, Bengal was annexed in 1574, and northwest Akbar also captured Kabul, Kandahar, Kashmir, Sindh and Balochistan. From there he moved toward to Deccan, the south of India. He moved towards there. Deccan kingdom like Ahmednagar, Bijapur, Golconda and Berar, it was being annexed by Akbar, but some of the city like Ahmednagar was led by Chand Bibi. Chand Bibi didn't refuse the Akbar's policy. She fought against the Akbar, but she was being defeated. But when she died, after only that, Ahmednagar was annexed by Akbar. Now we will read about the administration, art, religions and culture of Akbar's reign. Main was his central administration in which Akbar was the head. All the policies was taken by the Akbar himself. Akbar was the commander-in-chief. Akbar was the commander-in-chief of armed office. He was the supreme judge. He was an head of the administration, political, military and judicial matter. Whatever the decision king took means it is the final decision. Then emperor also constituted a council of ministers. He have some council of ministers also, in which it was the vakil like prime minister, you can say the prime minister, Qazi was the chief judge, Mansab Das and some other ministers. And some of the central administration officials were Wazir, he was the head of the revenue department, Mir Bakshi was the head of the military department, and Khane Saman was who used to look after the household, royal household. Akbar himself appointed the provincial governors, military commanders, Mansabdars and other high officials. Akbar regularly met his officials, ministers and even to the common people. He has two houses. One was Diwan-e Khas and another was Diwan-e Aam. Diwan-e Khas was where he used to take the meeting with his officials, his administrative officials, and in Diwan-e Aam he used to meet with all the public where he used to listen their problems openly. So that's all for today's session. We will meet you once again in our next session with this lesson about the provincial administration of Akbar, his army organization, his revenue system and his literature and music. What was Deen-e-Ilahi? We will read about that. So read this lesson very carefully and watch this video also very carefully. We will meet in our next session. Till then, have a nice day and take care of your health.